Hey everyone, welcome to Be the Change. My name is Lily Mott, and today's episode is about how change comes when you dare to deserve. On this year's International Women's Day Eve, I am so thrilled to share this special episode of Be the Change podcast with you. Last weekend on Sunday, March 1st, I had the opportunity to attend AMPLIFY 2026 at the University of Bath, which is the university's student-led International Women's Month Summit. And I got to run a pop-up podcast studio. Throughout the day, I got to talk with dozens of the incredible attendees, and I ended up recording 20 interviews, so it was quite the day. But I left feeling so inspired and so motivated to share these conversations with as many people as possible. So this episode is a little bit different from my others because I'm going to kick off with my interview with Lauren Bennett, who is the founder of AMPLIFY, and then I'm going to share some of my favorite clips from throughout the day. There were so many more that I wish I could have included, but my patience for editing really only goes so far. So let's dive into my first interview with the incredible woman who started AMPLIFY in the first place. Lauren Bennett is the founder of AMPLIFY, a student at the University of Bath. And as you will hear in our interview, she does a little bit of everything. Well, a lot of everything. Lauren is everywhere in an amazing way. So I will let her introduce herself further. Lauren joined me for a quick interview as she was running around and making things happen on the day. So without further ado, this is Lauren Bennett. Okay, so can you tell me your name and a little bit about your work?
I am Lauren Bennett. I am the founder of AMPLIFY. And I didn't say that very loud. I should say that loud.
We're halfway through the day.
Okay, right, okay. I am Lauren Bennett and I am the founder of AMPLIFY. I work in female and youth advocacy, do systematic change, I do social impact through consultancy, and I'm a student at the University of Bath.
Amazing. A little bit of everything.
Everything.
My next question is what brought you to AMPLIFY today? But I think a more fitting question is what inspired you to begin AMPLIFY? Tell me about that story.
AMPLIFY started out of just a frustration that something wasn't happening. I was like, well, let me do something. We were founded in 2024, March 2024, after International Women's Day, because I was like, nothing happened. We need to do more. So in memory of my friend Catherine Thomas, who passed away in January 2023, and we cremated her on International Women's Day, the 8th of March. She was a force of nature. She was so powerful. Her energy was infectious. And then the week that she passed away, I texted her going, oh my gosh, life's amazing. I got my first A in my maths A level. I loved my hockey team. I loved my friends. And felt like she was like a bit of a fairy godmother to me. And AMPLIFY was handed in her memory. And essentially we're here to just change the way that we raise women, give them more confidence, give them more oomph. We need women who have got the balls and the audacity to just go for it. We raise women to be shy and timid and scared. And actually I'm not having that anymore. So I'm here today to inspire and amplify so many other young women.
That was a wonderful answer. What does this year's theme, Dare to Deserve, mean to you?
Dare to Deserve is a powerful theme of the fact that women are often held back from equal pay, body confidence, safety, having a voice, so many issues that we're told that we're not allowed. We're told that you don't deserve that. You're told that actually you're a woman, so you can't. And actually, no, I'm daring to deserve. I'm giving it some audacity, and I'm going to deserve fair pay, a voice, safety, empowerment, body confidence, everything. Dare to deserve it. Have some oomph and go and grab it with everything you've got, because we do deserve it.
What do you hope people take away from AMPLIFY this year?
Wow, so much. For me, the oomph. I think I've used that word a lot, but actually just have some audacity. I want women to realise that AMPLIFY started with one email. It was one email where I emailed someone late at night, said, help, please just help me. I've got this idea, I've got this vision, I've got this dream that I want to come true, and I've got no idea where to start. So this is me starting. And if more of us had that confidence to actually go, do you know what? I don't care if someone's going to go, what are they doing? Or they're too loud or they're too confident or whatever. Because like, look at us right now. We're smashing life. And like, if anybody was to say anything negative about that, then that's their own problem. Yeah.
Yeah. Why is it important to create spaces like AMPLIFY?
Because me personally, I have got the most awesome group of men and women around me that would scream my name from a rooftop, that would post me on their stories with feeling proud, that would talk about me in rooms that I'm not in. And knowing that I've got that community and knowing that I've got that space and those people and that power around me, that they are my power. Like, I have nothing without all the people around me. And I want more people to walk away from Amplify knowing that they have the loudest cheerleaders around them, that actually promoting your friends is cool, it's sexy, it's awesome. Like, yes, my friends are gorgeous. Yes, my friends are successful. Yes, I'm friends with them. I'm cool enough to be friends with them. And I think that's what women need from today. That's what men and women need from today. You know, this is not just a women's issue. This is all of us coming together and actually raising and uplifting women, because it's going to spread to everybody.
If you could share one piece of advice with your younger self, what would that be?
I actually wrote this. I've recently been recognised as one of the most inspirational women in Bath. And it asked me the same question. And I think there were times where I was younger and loud and confident and bold and ambitious. And there were people in my class that would call me a geek and a try hard and, oh, what are you doing now? Oh, Lauren's trying to take over. And actually, looking back now, pretty damn proud that I didn't listen to those voices. And I actually decided to wear my bright pink leggings to school, because a little girl once said to me, she was like, Lauren, she was like, I can see how bold and confident you are from your leggings. She was like, I love them. And since then, that is the foundation of Amplify's bold pink, those pink leggings that I bought and I wore proudly in sixth form, because I know that there's so many little girls that would also look up to me now. And I don't care what anybody else is going to say. Actually, if I can change the lives of the women that we've got here today, or change the lives of other girls that are looking online and going, she's quite cool, I want to be like her, then I'm happy.
I love talking with Lauren, and if you would like to learn more about her work and Amplify, I've added links in the description of this episode, but don't leave yet. I've got more clips to share with you. I got to talk with Keita, who was a fourth-year student at Bath, about what made her want to attend Amplify. So this is Keita.
I think sometimes there's this conception that like women are competing with each other because the space for us is smaller, when actually the whole point is, well, no, we're all in this together. We're supposed to be lifting each other up, not tearing each other down. I've found every time I've gone, even just to a little coffee morning, they've been so welcoming. I love hearing everyone's different opinions and aspirations, and no goes too small. Everyone tries to help each other in what you want to do. So I saw an opportunity to volunteer at this event, so jumped on that. And yeah, also just here to see some of the amazing key speakers, especially with mentoring and networking, which as a student, that does sound incredibly intimidating, but it's really nice just to connect with, again, more women wanting to support women. It's just a really lovely atmosphere. I sometimes find inspirational talks can rub me up the wrong way, depending if it's coming from, let's say, a 40, 50-year-old middle-class man. I'm not going to find that inspiring, that he's saying we have the same 24 hours, versus women from multitudes of different backgrounds with different experience and different advice to give. It really is just such a unique space, and we need more of these. And I'm just so happy Amplify is able to provide that for students and people alike.
As she was also running around making the event happen like Lauren, I got to talk with Kirsten, who is the head of fundraising at Amplify. We talked about why it's important to create spaces like Amplify, and this is what she shared with me.
The full impact of what women experience, although it's an epidemic, it's very hidden. Unfortunately, we were talking last night how, although like COVID was a pandemic, it's also described as an epidemic in the UK, and violence against women and girls is also an epidemic. Yet, where's the coverage? Where's, people were marching because they didn't want to wear a face mask. Like, where is that for women and girls? And having that space just to have like a small conversation really gets it going. That's why it's important.
I also got to talk with Antonia Dixie, who is an absolute ray of sunshine and the founder and CEO of Participation People. And we also talked about why it's important to create spaces like Amplify. And this is what Antonia shared with me.
Actually, one of my friends, she's asked me to unplug for International Women's Day. I'm like, what do you mean by that, Laura? She's also publishing a book, by the way. She said, Antonia, just unplug for 15 minutes. I'm like, no, Laura, I'm going to do better. I'm going to unplug for a day. She's like, okay, are you sure? No tech for a day. And I will circle back to your question, because there's a real beauty in having spaces where you just are poked slightly differently and have conversations that you wouldn't normally have in your network, and in a way that stretches your brain and your curiosity to be brighter and bolder. And also just take a freaking minute to be you, to own who you are, and to love yourself for a second, rather than what 4,000 digital ads are telling me I need every day.
I got to talk with Tammy Potter, who is a consultant, advisor, executive coach, and mentor. And I asked Tammy about what this year's theme of Amplify, Dare to Deserve, means to her. And this is what she shared with me.
I think that the world, if you zoom out, the world view is pretty fucking depressing for women. And politics and kind of Trump and Epstein and all of this shit in the world where it just feels like we're going backwards again. And so that all feels quite big and enormous. And so my way of managing my own sanity and how I think we all need to be in the world is to sort of zoom in and go, well, what can I do? And I think we all have agency. I have access to my own time, energy, networks. I have an ability to pass on stuff that I've learned or help create a space for someone to think or whatever it might be.
I also spoke with Rukia Osman, who delivered a session on the day and is working at the intersection of racial justice, mental health, and policy. We talked about this year's theme, Dare to Deserve, as well, and this is what she shared.
This year's theme really resonates with me, and when I first heard about it, it made me think about having the audacity to advocate for yourself. And like the session I delivered was actually touching on racial inequalities and health inequalities, and the fact that as women, we're often ignored when it comes to, accessing help and support in the health sector. Sometimes doctors without pain, they're so quick to dismiss it. So it made me think about, the fact that we all deserve access to good health, like regardless of the color of our skin, where we are born, our gender, or our faith. Everyone deserves access to good health. So the theme means to me like, having the audacity to just demand and advocate and fight for what's right.
Like I said, I wish I could have shared bits and pieces from all of the conversations I had because I left Amplify feeling so inspired, and I hope you're feeling some of that same inspiration from listening to this podcast episode. I'm going to share links to learn more about Amplify, and if you'd like to connect with the people you heard in this episode, there is more information about how to reach them in the description. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. Happy early International Women's Day, and remember, change comes when you dare to deserve. Thank you again for listening to this episode. If you want to talk about anything I mentioned, please reach out to me by email at lily@bethechangepodcast.org or on Instagram at BeTheChangeMediaNetwork. If you enjoyed this episode, I would really appreciate it if you could leave the podcast a rating and a comment because it will help these stories to reach, educate, and inspire more people. And I would love to hear your thoughts and feedback. Tune in for my next episode, but until then, be the change you wish to see in the world. Bye, guys.